Welcome back to The Rich Nonprofit. This is straight talk for mission-driven women. It is the middle of November. We are getting so close to the end of the year. And oh my gosh, I am so not ready for the holidays. Are you? 2 of my sons will be home from college next week, which means I need to get to Costco stat because they are over dorm food, fast food, and they are ready to take down my pantry. And aside from depleting my checking account at Costco, I've been thinking a lot about what I want to say I did with 2025. Not what I achieved, not what revenue I hit, what I built that carries on. Now, end of year reflections on social media, they're nice, but they're also full of, well, I don't want to say lies, but maybe some exaggerations. I grew my business 40%. I launched 3 new programs. I hit 6 figures. And that's wonderful, cool. But did any of it really matter? Did you build something that will carry on, that will outlast you? Or did you just make more money than last year? And trust me, I'm not saying that revenue doesn't matter. It does. You can't create impact if you're broke. Money is fuel for that impact, and you need fuel. We all do. But revenue alone isn't legacy. And legacy is what I'm thinking about as I look at these last weeks of 2025. Here's what I want to say I did this year. I want to say I stopped playing small with my message. I spent the first half of this year talking to mompreneurs. Good work, important work. But I was a little scared to go bigger. I was comfortable there, maybe too comfortable. I'm admitting it. It was safe. I knew the space. I was one. I am one. And I could navigate it without risk. But then I pivoted to nonprofit strategy. Better, more aligned. But I was still kind of shrinking my message to fit what I thought people wanted to hear. Still trying to fit into that box that made sense to other people, instead of just saying what I actually think. Then I stood on stage at Bold and Bank Live in Detroit, and I told female entrepreneurs that their business is bigger than just money. And something clicked. If you listen to my last episode, you know that I was up there and in talking to these women and having them raise their hands. And here's what I saw. That my message isn't just about nonprofits or entrepreneurs. It's about legacy. It's about building this legacy and impact that carries on. It goes beyond you, whether you're running a nonprofit or a 7-figure business. So that is what I am building for the rest of the year. I'm building a business that helps mission-driven women, nonprofit leaders, entrepreneurs, I don't care about your label, create impact that outlasts them. So let me talk about what this looks like in practice, because I think there's confusion sometimes when we talk about legacy. So pretty often I talk to successful women who have everything on paper: the business, the revenue, the clothes, the fashion, which I love, the team, the systems. They've followed the playbook. They've hit the milestones. They might even be considered an influencer on social media. But something is still missing. They tell me things like, well, I thought I'd feel different when I hit this level. Or, I keep thinking there has to be more to this. Or when they really get to know me, they will say to me, what is this hustle all for anyway? And I know there's more. And there is something it can be for. And that is called legacy. But nobody is showing them how to build legacy while they are building their business and everything else. The business world teaches you how to scale revenue, hit your next milestone, optimize your funnel, launch your next offer. The nonprofit world teaches you how to write grants, run programs, measure outcomes, manage your donors. But nobody teaches you how to build both profit and purpose into the same model. Nobody shows you how to integrate mission into your business structure from the beginning. Nobody explains how to think like a CEO and a change maker at the same time without feeling like you're betraying one or the other. When I wrote my talk for Bold and Bank Live, and I got up on that stage and I saw the response, I realized, oh my gosh, that is the gap that I'm filling. And these last weeks of 2025 This is when I'm going all in on that message. I'm not playing it safe anymore. I am not shrinking to fit. I am positioning my Impact Legacy Intensive as the place for successful women to start mapping their impact strategy. And I want to break this down, what happens in the intensive, because this isn't just another coaching call where we're going to talk about mindset and I send you off with homework that you're not going to do because it's the holidays and you are busy. So it's a strategic working session. Yes, we're going to touch on your feelings because what you feel reveals your values, and that matters in what you want to build, who you want to help. Your values drive everything. But it's not just about doing mindset work. We can do that later if you become one of my long-term mentoring clients, because that is important also, because you've got so many things coming at you at all times. You really got to keep that mindset strong and the boundaries. What we're doing in this intensive is building your impact strategy in real time. We start with where you are right now, your actual business, not the one you're pretending to have on social media. Okay, don't hate me for that. Your real resources, not the ones that you hope to have next year. Your true capacity, and not the superhuman mom version where you never need sleep. Come on. That landed me in the ER recently. No, we're not doing that anymore. Your vision, and yes, what I said before, the feelings about what matter to you. And so I use my 4 P's of philanthropic profit to map out how this impact fits into your world, not just theory, it's practical application. We look at your purpose, what breaks your heart, what change do you want to see? Not the pretty answers that maybe you give at a networking event, right? Telling people what they want to hear. No, the real ones that keep you up at night. Passion. What could you talk about for hours without checking the clock? What work doesn't feel like work? Where does your energy naturally flow without forcing it? And then there's profit. How does this fund itself? Because if it doesn't, it's not going to last. We need to build sustainability, not another thing that's just going to go to the wayside when you burn out. And then there's philanthropy. How do we structure this? A nonprofit, a foundation, a partnership, direct giving. There are so many options out there that people don't realize. And most people are just trying to force themselves into the wrong model to say that they've done something, but that's not going to be sustainable. So by the end of our 60 minutes together, you have answers to these questions that have either been spinning in your head for months, maybe years, or have been deep in your soul that maybe you haven't even recognized, but you've been secretly thinking about. Should I start a nonprofit? How much time can I realistically dedicate to this? How do I build impact without sacrificing what I've already created? And what's the first step? This is what I want to help you with. I want to give you the roadmap and the steps so that you can move forward today, not when you're more successful, not when you hit those 100K months, but now. You can start helping people, you can start circulating wealth and making that impact that you want to make. So while everyone else is focused on hitting their year-end revenue goals, and believe me, I have year-end revenue goals. Come on, I've got kids, I've got this business, I want to travel more next year. Of course, I've got revenue goals. But it's not about launching one more thing, running my Black Friday special, squeezing out one more promotion. And it doesn't have to be. You could use these weeks differently. You could use them to map out 2026 and let that become the year where you build legacy alongside profit. The year you stop choosing between meaning and money. So while everyone else is chasing those same metrics that they chased last year, you could be laying the groundwork for impact and legacy. So in January, I'm going to be raising my prices. 1, because it's time. It may be time for you also. This work has been underpriced. I love helping everyone. And there have been many years when I've helped people for free. And it's just not sustainable. I have a bleeding heart, but as I mentioned before, I got a lot of kids. 2, I believe that this work deserves premium positioning. The women who understand that legacy matters, they're going to invest in building it. They're not going to blink at the investment because they know the cost of continuing without purpose is higher and they want to get it going now. And accountability. Oh my gosh, I'm a big one about accountability. I don't know about you, but I need it in my life at all times because it helps me move faster, quicker, find more of my ideal clients, and just do better work when I know I have that accountability and support. So another thing that I'm planning to do in 2026 is get on more stages to share this message. No more undervaluing how important purpose and impact are. No more acting like mission is something you add on after you're successful. The world needs integrated impact more than ever, especially if you are living in the United States right now. You know this. But here's the other thing that I want to say that I did in 2025. I want to say I was present for my 3 boys while I built all of this. Because legacy isn't just about the business you built. It's about the life you live while you are building it. It's about who you are in the small moments, not just on the stage. As I said in my last episode, my great-grandmother's trunk that she brought over from Spain is in my house. And every single time I look at it, I think about what she sacrificed so that I could have choices. And I'm not wasting those choices on just making money. I'm building wealth. I'm creating impact. I'm raising boys who will see their mom refuse to choose between making money and making a difference. They are watching. They're watching me build something. No, I don't like that. We can delete that. They are watching me build a business, a legacy, while also showing up for their games, their conversations during dinner, their talks about college and life, who they want to become. That to me is legacy. And this isn't just about my legacy, it's about yours. What are you building with the choices you have? What are you doing with the resources you've earned? What story do you want your great-granddaughter to tell about you? And I'm going to be honest. Look at what's happening in the world right now. Women are building multi-million-dollar businesses. It is tough out there, but we are getting to those tables. We now have the money. We have the influence. We have the platforms. So what are we going to do with it? Are we just stacking money higher? Are we just buying nicer things, keeping up with the Joneses? Or are we using it to change lives? I have seen women hit their revenue goals and then still feel empty because they built what they were told to build. They achieved what they thought they were supposed to achieve. They followed the blueprint everyone said would make them happy. And now they're sitting there wondering, is this it? No, this isn't it. This is just the beginning. The money you've made, that is fuel for your legacy. The influence that you've built, that is power for change. And the business you've created, that is your vehicle for impact. But you need a strategy to tie it all together. You need a framework to integrate it. You need someone to show you how. And that is what my intensive does. It shows you how to take what you've already built and use it to create lasting change. Not someday when you've made it, not when you retire, not when you have enough. Now, while you are still building, while you are expanding and growing, while you have energy, ambition, and drive, while you're in the thick of it. These last weeks of 2025 can be about Black Friday sales and hitting another revenue goal. Sure, you can do that. Everyone else is. And I hope you make more money in Q4 than you did last year. That would be amazing. But it can also be about deciding what kind of leader you want to be going forward. One who just makes money or one who makes history. So I have a challenge for you as we head into the end of 2025. Think about, what do you want to say you built this year? Not what you achieved, not what you accomplished, what you built. Because achievements, while they are wonderful, they are temporary. Revenue goals reset every January. But what did you build that continues? And if you're listening and thinking, yeah, sure, Lisa, I'd love to build legacy, but I don't know where to start. That's what my intensive is for. 60 minutes, one-on-one strategy session. You walk away with knowing how to turn your success into legacy. My contact info is in the show notes. I'd love for you to reach out to me on LinkedIn, Instagram. Say hi. Let's chat about this. Let's figure out your structure and map your next steps. The women that I work with know that they want more. They feel the pull toward legacy. They just need someone to show them how to make it real. And I don't want you burning down what you've already built, because what you've built is amazing and you've worked so hard. I'm just going to help you circulate wealth out into the community so that we can help more women and go after that $10 million legacy impact initiative. I want to do this. I'm going to do this. We women are going to do this. And I will see you next time on The Rich Nonprofit.